Welcome, my brothers and sisters. So good to get a chance to share the word with you, looking at a specific verse today. But I was just thinking to myself, we live in a culture that is, and we talked about this before, and you've probably heard this many times, that we're very short sighted. We kind of think about the here and now, what happened in the last few minutes. We look through social media and we are focused on the very last, really the last news item from about 2 hours ago. We can't really think beyond that or past that or towards the future whatsoever. It's really the focus is on the here and now. And so, how does that relate to those of us who are choosing or seeking or wanting to follow Jesus? What does that mean for us as we're thinking about really life and eternity? Because I think sometimes that's the thing that comes up. What are we focused on? What is our mission? What are the things that are driving us? And what ultimately are we thinking towards? And I look at this text today and it really gives me hope, especially when you're living through a difficult season in your life. You're really challenged. You're having a hard time. But also, it's just to know that God, and I've said this before, God is a God who maintains his promises. So you don't have to doubt him. So let's look at the text today and let's talk a little bit about that and go from there. So our text today is 1 Corinthians 2:9 in the New Living Translation. And it says, "This is what the scriptures mean when they say, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love him." There's a caveat right there. There's first of all, there's this thought of for those who love him. And if you watch one of the previous messages, I spoke about how you can love God. Now it's saying for those who actually live that out and actually love God and follow through and want to live for him, want to serve him, want to know him, want to draw near to him, really desire to know God. It says that really there's just tremendous things in store for you. So how does this help us today? How does that help us as we live out our lives? Because I'll tell you, sometimes it seems like life is like Groundhog Day. It's the same day, day after day after day, and it could get monotonous. And if you're in a dark place, it could feel the same way. Like it's the same day you faced yesterday is the same day you're going to face tomorrow and the day after. In those moments, and I get it, sometimes the clouds are so consuming in front of you, and sometimes the boredom of your life can keep you from really focusing or thinking about other things other than what's right in front of you. But just know that this text has a promise in it. And we have no clue what the future with God is going to be like. We might think we know. We could look at scripture and get some ideas, but we really have no idea what's in store for us. So I want to encourage you, and this is in a good sense. I'm not talking about like, oh, it's going to be horrible. And everybody gets this idea of like what heaven's going to be like. We're going to be playing harps with each other. And man, I've read so many good articles and good books relative to heaven and just talk about the tremendous blessing it can be. If you think about the person you love to spend the most time with, the person that you love to be around the most, and what they bring, what kind of joy they bring to you when you're around them. Didn't God create them? Maybe heaven might be a little bit like that. Or when someone sings a song that just stirs your soul, that's a little bit like that. Because who created that person that's singing that song, that wrote that song, that did those things? And so those are just a glimpse. So we say, God is saying to us, we have no idea. We haven't seen it. We haven't heard it. We can't even imagine it. So I want to encourage you today, whatever's going on in your life, whatever difficulty you're facing, that God has this amazing place, this amazing thing that's going to take place where you're going to be amongst him. And so I want to encourage you today, when things seem at their bleakest, take a look at this text and be reminded that God has something so great in store for those of us who love him and follow him. My brothers and sisters, God bless you. So good to get a chance again to share a little bit of the word with you. I pray that you're doing well, and we'll be talking very shortly again.